I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com. Follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 84 of Wise Advice. And man, I had a fantastic weekend. I don't know if you saw it on Connect and depending on where you're following along on, but we went up to Chicago for the weekend up in Wheaton. There was a Connect meetup of, I don't even remember, probably about 30 or 40 people, maybe even 50 people in the room at one point. All folks who are working the Weight Watcher plan, who are just in it to change their life, and they want to take an additional step in their health. And they said, you know what, I want to meet some of these people I see online and kind of give me a piece of the journey that kind of helps tie it together and gives me a little more accountability because I find people that I meet and I kind of want to hang out. So we went up there this weekend. For us, it was kind of fun. It was about a 3.5, 4 hour drive because of traffic. Got there just as the meeting was had just begun, hung around for a couple hours, and then we drove back. But it was absolutely an incredible day. And for me, for number one, it was a chance for me to see a lot of people face to face that I could look at them and thank them and say, you know what, thank you for putting your story out there. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for being a wingman. Thank you for showing me that what I was trying to do was possible. So it gave me that opportunity to kind of thank the community for giving me my life back. And so that was a complete honor of mine to be able to be up there and meet a whole bunch of great people who just are just doing fantastic work. But it brought me to a point where I made this realization, and I kind of put it on Connect today. I put it on Facebook as well, is that, you know, those of us who are at Lifetime, those of us who have hit goal and continue to maintain our goal weight and our goal feeling, we owe it to the community to kind of just continue to remind you what it is you're chasing, what it is you're trying to get done. And I call this my Jerry Maguire moment. And it really kind of hit me is a lot of times we spend a lot of time in this weight loss journey trying to figure out what it is we're trying to do. We understand the program. There is no secret to weight loss. Burn more calories than you consume. It's that simple. You talk to any single fitness person out there, that's the number one thing they're going to tell you is, you know, hey, just go work out more, eat less, and burn more calories than you lose. But we know that it's significantly more difficult than that. So what we need to know is we got to tap into the why. As I told you many times, my weight loss journey failed every single time I focused on how to get it done. And when I focused on the food hacks and what kind of trick could I do and what kind of suppression could I do and how would I work out more, all of those led to some good success temporarily, but none of them led to the lifestyle change that got me to goal. I'd never hit my goal before. I'd been close before. I'd done really well on the program. I was never able to sustain it until I focused on why. And the why for me is I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be fit. I wanted to be able to pass this PT test any single chance I got. You know, I was talking today, I could, in my combat boots, in my full uniform, at 80 degree, 90 degree heat, 2 seconds after lunch, I can go take the PT test and pass it. That's a place in my life I've never been. And so that was all part of my why. And that continues as now my why continues to focus is I want to be in the best shape of my life health-wise. I want to take control of my life and I want to be healthy. I want to be fit and I want to stay at goal. So those of us at Lifetime, we have the responsibility back to the community to show anybody who's working the plan, who wants to get this done, what the prize is, what you're fighting for. When you say no, you know, when you're out of points and I ask you to stop eating points, I want you to understand why you're saying no at that point. I want you to understand why you've switched at 7 o'clock at night, why you will switch to apples and bananas only for the rest of the evening, why you will say no to a piece of chocolate cake at 6:30 in the evening. It's because the feeling you get at goal is like no other feeling out there. Now I get it. Before I hit my goal, I was a happy guy. I had a lot of fun. I have a beautiful house. I have a beautiful family. I have a lot of great friends. But there was a piece missing, and it's a piece that I didn't even know existed. And that piece was hitting goal. And there is a complete difference between someone who's almost at goal, who has a great life, and someone who's at goal with all of the same circumstances. It is completely different. The journey is 80% mental. If you don't stay focused, you don't keep your head in the game, it's hard to stay focused on it. So that's why we do the podcast, is exactly what, Jeff just pointed out. And if you haven't followed Jeff on Connect, you need to get out and Jeff Hoisted out there. The dude's killing it, down 140 pounds at a goal weight, and his mind is in the game. So as lifetime members, we commit now, and I'm going to use the hashtag Team Lifetime. I'm going to use the hashtag Goal Call, and I want lifetime members to continue using them to show anybody working the plan who's just kind of happy, who's doing great, who's kind of getting some results, but they don't really know what they're fighting for. They're not, they're kind of, I wouldn't say aimlessly, but they're just kind of floating around and just following the plan. And if you're going a little aimlessly at it, you don't have a destination in mind. You don't know what the finish line looks like, and therefore you will never know when you get there. If we show you what it's like and we show you what it feels like and kind of convey that to you, it gives you a way to get there. So, again, to the folks out in Wheaton, Chicago, thank you for inviting me up there. Thank you for having me there. The room was absolutely awesome. A shout out to some guys. There was a handful of guys there that all of us were at goal. And you'll see a picture this week on Connect if you haven't already. It's a picture of all of us guys in the room, and every one of us is at goal. It's an incredible feeling. And Tony says it best. He said, who says Weight Watchers is for the ladies only, and so that's a cool picture. I can't wait to share that. But you have to want this more than anything else. More than anything, you have to want to be at goal, and you have the ability to get there. So a couple things I want to talk about is, what is goal? How do you establish your goal? There's a lot of concern out there. When we started talking, this came up in our meeting, in the Connect Live up in Wheaton. It came up in the meeting is what is a doctor's goal? And is establishing a doctor's goal, is that it kind of has a negative stereotype or connotation to it. And we put that to bed really quickly in the meeting room. And I want to take one step further and describe it here. Here's how I would say, if we follow the plan, there are some guidelines for what your goal weight should be. Now, the Weight Watcher plan says you want to be in a healthy BMI. I firmly believe that many of us have the ability to get there. We just truly don't know what that's like until we get there. But let's take one step further. Let's say we didn't get there. How do we establish a doctor goal? Well, here's how I would recommend that you start establishing your doctor's goal. Your doctor goal is a point where, and you've heard me say, goal is a feeling. When you step on the scale and you don't want to lose any more weight, that's goal. When you step on the scale and you say, yeah, I feel great, I look good, and you put on a shirt that looks good, that's trim and fit, and you're like, no, I like this. When you establish all that, then you go visit your doctor and you say, Doc, I got on the scale this morning, I don't want to lose any more weight. And the doctor agrees, and you say, well, can you write that number down? Because that's my new goal. It's not the other way around. You don't go to a doctor and say, give me a number, I'll try and hit it, and when I get there, we'll call it goal. Because let's face it, we don't know what that looks like. If the doctor, gives you a number that's 20, 30 pounds from where you're at currently, between the two of you, even as educated as they are, they're just giving you a number to see if you can hit a milestone, to see if you can hit something to kind of keep you motivated to go forward. I want you to be motivated into a feeling. I want you to be motivated to a point where you're like, no, I don't want to lose any more weight. That is your doctor's goal. And at that point, you say, you know what? Hey, this is what the goal is. This is what the number is. You put that in the system and you get it done. So that is, that when you get there, at that point, you've now gotten control of your life. When you get control of the eating part of your life, everything else in life falls in place. If you don't get there, if you don't stay focused, then you just get what you get. And what I want you to do is I want you to get what you want. I don't want you to settle for whatever life has to give you. If you're walking around and you're close to goal and you're on a plateau and you're a multi-month plateau and you're struggling to get there, are you tracking properly? The question I'm going to almost always start asking is, how many points did you eat today? And when I ask that, normally I ask that a couple times. I get a lot of, Facebook messages, a lot of email. And when I reply back with how many points did you eat today, many times I get an excuse of list of, well, I would have, but I didn't, and that's not working the program. I'm going to commit to you as a lifetime member to show you that this is absolutely possible. This is absolutely doable, but you've got to follow the plan. You've got to want it, and you've got to want it more than anything else. And if you do that, you can get it. So out of the gate, Amy writes in from Facebook and she says, I was following you last year. I fell off the wagon and I recommitted about 3 meetings ago. I'm good. It's good to see you are still doing so well. I do have a question though. At one point, you acknowledged that you were a bit more strict than maybe the others because you had your PT test looming over you. Do you think that being so strict and losing so rapidly has affected you in one way or the other in terms of sustainability? I'm hoping that makes sense. So that came in out of Facebook Messenger and we had a great conversation about it. And so here is my answer to that. There is no right or wrong way to work the plan as long as you're following the plan and you let the results speak for themselves. When I was working the plan, I decided, I got so mad. I got so sick and tired of being overweight. I was so frustrated. I was so embarrassed that I said, you know what? I am doing this and I am doing this for the very last time. That is the focus and determination I used to get to my goal. While I was losing my weight, I tracked everything. I've tracked Tic Tacs. 5 Tic Tacs is 0 points. The 6th Tic Tac becomes 1 point. As I was eating them throughout the course of the day, I tracked them. I didn't cheat the plan. I ate my dailies. Sometimes I ate my weeklies. Sometimes I didn't eat my weeklies. If I was hungry, I ate them. But I didn't have a cheat day. I didn't have a cheat meal. I followed the plan. When I was out of points, I stopped eating points. And then the nights that I was out of points early, I looked back at the previous day's tracker and I made guesses as to what I could have done differently if I could do that day over again. And a couple times I would find things like, well, if I could do this day over again, I would have passed on the bag of potato chips that was 8 points. I would have passed on the candy that was 5 or 6 points or whatever it was. And if I had the day to do over, I would have passed on those things so that I could have had points going into dinner. So I worked the plan so strictly because I was determined more than anything to get the goal. Now, I can't change the speed of which that happened for me, but I just really, what I'm thankful for is as I did that, because I stayed so disciplined to the tracker that I said, when I'm out of points, I'm going to stop eating points. It forced me to really kick some bad habits to the curb. I realized quickly that I couldn't have, brownies for dinner after a full day's meal. I couldn't go out to eat 3 days I couldn't go out to eat for 3 meals and then still have dessert. If I was going to go out 3 meals for food, I had to start making some healthier choices in order to accommodate 3 meals in a day at a restaurant. There are days that I was able to do that, but I had to make some choices to do there. So that is the piece that I'm more thankful for, because I was so strict to the plan that I was able to develop new habits because I was strict enough to not let my old habits carry me over. And if you don't change your habits, if you don't change your lifestyle, then you have the opportunity to be able to not stick with it. And I don't want that for you. What I want for you is I want you to stick with it for the rest of your life, make it your life, and get it done. So Amy, thanks for that. Another Amy coincidentally writes in, says, hi, Mike. Thank you so much for your podcast. They have become my anchor for me. My why is so I don't eat mindlessly, which will lead to weight gain, lethargy, and negatively affect my health as I get older. When I joined Weight Watchers for the last time, I did so because I refused to succumb to buying a new wardrobe in a larger size. I am a strong, determined person. I knew it was time to make a fresh start. With that in mind, I want to share a celebration with you that I hope will inspire others. I am happy to say that I've been at goal for 5 years. It's truly hard to believe sometimes. I started my journey in January 2003, and I made Lifetime in June of 2003. From there, simply put, complacency set in. I stopped going to weekly meetings, and I weighed in once a month. I took the summers and holidays off. I didn't understand that reaching goal was just that. It was a goal. It was an accomplishment. Achieving Lifetime was not the end of the road. It wasn't something I could just check off my to-do list. I joined Weight Watchers on and off again for 9 years, losing and gaining back the weight. I reached goal again some of those times, so I knew the plan worked. I didn't truly understand the commitment and dedication that it takes to maintain success and stay on the plan. I didn't realize that I had to maintain the mindset and the focus that I had when I was in the weight loss mode. I had to do this for the rest of my life. In January 2012, when I was 42, I joined Weight Watchers again for the last time. This time, as the other say in your podcast, was different. During one of our meetings, my leader at that time told all of us, make 2012 your year. That was my aha moment. All of us have or will experience that. I lost 24 pounds in 6 months and I hit goal again, this time on maintenance. I finally understood what it takes to commit to something and the discipline and an increase in physical activity. I only do about 30 minutes a day, and setting new goals for myself. The comments of, did you lose weight? You look great, went away once I stopped losing weight. The new goals I make provide me with continuous motivation and keep me focused. Sure, life gets in the way, unexpected events come up, and health issues arise for all of us. I don't look at them as roadblocks, but rather as challenges that prove the strength and dedication I have to myself and to this program. The anchors that I used today are tracking, attending weekly meetings and weighing in each time, attendance goal, adding spices to food so I'm more satisfied with smaller portions, staying away from grab-and-go foods that make me eat mindlessly. Activity and attendance goals now in your podcast. For those who are unsure of what to do or you feel overwhelmed, take baby steps, write down small specific goals and incorporate your choices around them. Go to your weekly meeting no matter how your week went. Apply the ideas and tools you learn in those meetings and connect to your daily life so they become habits. And of course, write down your why. Look at it often so you know why you're doing this. I have great self-confidence now, and I am excited to continue this journey with all of you. Thank you again, Mike, for your continuous support and your service to our country. Be well, stay focused, Amy. Folks, did you hear that? So here's a couple things that I thought were absolutely key in Amy's email. She hit goal in lifetime many, many years ago, but she hit there with the how version of this weight loss plan. She understood you can have success following your how. If you know how to do this, you can have success. You can hit goal. You can get lifetime. You can maintain it for a year or two or longer if you're focused on your how. When you tap into your why, it becomes the permanent fixture. In Amy's email, she hit goal, stayed focused on her how, and that allowed her to drift away from goal and away from lifetime. Tapping into the why got her back. Amy, 5 years at goal and lifetime is an incredible accomplishment. I'm so proud of you. And that is what I now look forward to. You know, I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary at this goal weight. And that day is going to be great for me. It's going to be that first year along this journey of a 5-year journey to catch up to you. At that point, you'll probably be at 10 years. So I'll probably never catch you, but that's the rabbit that I continue to chase. You continue to show me that it's possible. So, keep up the great job. And, you know, I as I walk around, in the world, I see all kinds of different people. And those who are paying attention, those who are focused and disciplined, are getting it done and are able to maintain. So, Amy, you're clearly one of them. Thank you so much for that. Johanna writes in and says, Mike, thanks for the podcast. I've been debating emailing you, and then in a recent podcast, you encouraged lifetime members to write in as well. So that gave me the extra push. Here is my story with some of my whys mingled in. Near the end of 2011, I found out that I was pregnant. I went in for my first appointment around 8 weeks along and stepped on the scale for the first time in years. I almost cried. There had always been a number in my head that if I hit it, I told myself I would diet. Well, I was 30 pounds past that number. I was devastated and ashamed. During the last trimester, like every other pregnant woman, I was tested for gestational diabetes. It came back that I had it. I remembered breaking down in tears at my desk at work. My family has a history of diabetes, so I was determined to maintain my health during that time with diet alone. I did well, and I never had to add in medication. Even doing that, I wasn't quite ready to make a lifelong change after having my son in August of 2012. In January 2013, I knew I needed the accountability and the help. So I walked into my local Weight Watchers location. In June 2014, I reached my goal weight and I hit lifetime. I lost 100 pounds. June of 2014. Like you say, it was great to step on the scale for the last time in a weight loss mode. I lost my weight on Weight Watchers Points Plus program, and I've maintained on the Smart Points program. I celebrated my 3-year lifetime anniversary in June. This time I celebrated as a leader. I love to encourage people by reminding them that if you follow the program, it works. In the 4+ years I've been doing Weight Watchers, I have lost and maintained on tracking alone. I have many hats. I've not been able to make time for consistent exercise. I hope to do that in the near future as my son becomes more independent with age. Your attendance versus performance mantra gives me hope and has given me an attainable vision to remember that lifetime members and fellow leaders need as well. So thanks again, FatDag, Johanna out of Nashville, Tennessee. Well, folks, 100-pound loss, lost, maintained, and sustained for 3 years now by following the program. No exercise at all. You heard that. No exercise at all. That is an incredible feat. And so this is exactly what I'm asking for. Is she says, I love to encourage people by reminding them that if you follow the program, it works. If you're on a multi-month plateau, ask yourself if you're truly following the program. If you've hit 10%, you've heard me say this, if you've hit 10%, you have the ability to make goal. Now, if you hit 10% and then you turn into a multi-month plateau after that, are you doing the same things that you were doing when you hit your 10% goal? That's the question you need to ask yourself. That's where I want you to focus because we now have a couple different stories now where we have people who have followed the program, who have done it many different ways, no exercise used to lose 100 pounds, to maintain it, to focus on it, and 3 years later, still rocking goal. Now that's exactly what we're after. So Johanna, thank you for your email as well. Kathy writes in, says, hey, Mike, not FatDag. Just a quick note to thank you yet again for all of your support and your efforts to help us on our journey. You had given me some wise advice on the podcast, which just happened to correspond with my birthday. Well, I never thought I could have done this on my own and actually have never done it on my own. I joined many times in the last 25+ years and I quit. But with tracking, honest blue dots, the help of Connect, my meeting, and of course you, today I hit goal. I plan on using the money that I'm not paying for a Weight Watcher meeting to find a local gym that will help me keep healthy and strong. I am a Weight Watcher lifer and so proud. Much gratitude for all the support out there, Kathy. Kathy, congratulations on hitting your goal. That is incredible. I get it. 25-year journey. Can you honestly say that hitting goal was way better than being close to goal? I know you can. And so I know if you sit back and you think about it, the day you hit goal is completely life changing. I don't care how great the days before hitting goal are. If you have the best life going out there and you're just above goal, but you still are trying to hit that goal, the day you hit goal, everything changes. It's completely different. There is no comparison to being close to goal and to hit goal. Absolutely none. So it doesn't matter how happy you are leading up to it. It will increase tenfold when you hit goal. And that's what I want you to tap into. So, go get it done. And Kathy, so you are now rocking your goal. You're rocking lifetime and you're never going to give that feeling back. That is the cool part of this journey, is that when you tap into the why and you know why you're doing it, you will keep it for the rest of your life. So that is outstanding work. And, so here's where we are. We're at a point now where you've just heard all kinds of people who've hit their goal. You've heard from people who hit lifetime, who you've heard from people who've maintained it for 3 years, for 5 years. It can be done. What you're trying to do is possible. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. When I focused on how I wanted to lose weight, and that was by eating this instead of that, or by going to the gym more, or, just trying to follow the program. When I focused on how, I was able to get success, but I wasn't able to maintain it. When I focused on why, everything changed. I truly transformed myself when I focused on my why. I want you to get to goal. More than anything, that's what I want. Being at goal, we're better together. And the more people who show the world what it's like to live a happy, healthy lifestyle, the better off we will all be. So I want you to get to goal. If you're at goal, I want you to stay at goal. And what I'm demonstrating to you through all of us who write in is that we can get there. What you're trying to do is possible. Find out what your why is. If you don't know, you need to spend some time trying to figure it out. You need to spend some soul searching. What drove you to sign up? We didn't start a weight loss journey because we just thought it would be kind of fun. There was something specific that made us want to join. There's something specific that made you click the mouse button, pull out your credit card, and pay for an online membership or pay for a meeting room to lose weight. That specific reason inside is what is your why. If you want to be free from pain, that's serious. That's significant, and you can do that. So figure out what it is, write it down, read it as often as you need to read it, and get it done. So I want to know if you're at Lifetime. I want to hear from Team Lifetime. I want to hear Goal Call so that we can continue to inspire the community, let everybody know that we are out here celebrating, we are out here getting it done, and we want you to join us. What is it that you're celebrating along the way? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on podcast, click on Listen Now, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can email it on air at FatDag.com. I want you to be proud of what you're doing. This is absolutely hard work. It's doable work, and you can get it done. Well, that is going to do it for this time. Remember, losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.